Hello again, folks. So, I've already shown you the back gap stitch, right, or the back gap extended single crochet, and that just looks like working an extended single crochet into this gap space while also picking up this extra loop here on the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to show you what that looks like when I call it a back gap cluster. So typically, if I just say back gap cluster, this is going to be indicated in the pattern the number of stitches to do into that cluster. So here I'm going to work 2 stitches. So you can locate your gap space, right? It's going to be in between 2 camel rows always. Right, so you'll notice you've got your raised camel row on the back, you've got 2 camel rows here, and in between those is this gap space right here. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the hook into that gap space. I'm going to rotate the work. I'm going to adjust the camera so that it can focus a little better. And so now look, I've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 raised camel stitches on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up this loop on the nearest camel stitch, right? The loop that is closest to the hook. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. Now I've got 2 of those loops on the hook, and I'm going to work my extended single crochet directly into those 2 loops. Go ahead and do that. This is an extended single crochet. There's 1. And I'm going to go ahead and work 1 more extended single crochet into that space, and that is going to be called a back gap cluster. Again, it's a back gap cluster because I'm picking up the stitch from the nearest camel row on the back, right, as opposed to the front, and I'm working into the gap space, and I'm doing more than 1 stitch. So all of those things together are the reason why I call it a cluster. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time slowly. So this is my gap space. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the hook into there. I'm going to rotate the work. I'm going to find the nearest camel stitch, the nearest raised part of the camel stitch, which is this stitch right here. And it's going to be the nearest loop to me. I'm going to go ahead and slide it on using my fingernail. Now I've got 2 loops on the hook, and I'm going to go ahead and work my extended single crochet into that space. There's 1. Now because it's a cluster, I'm going to go ahead and work 1 more stitch. And there is my cluster. So you'll see that I've been doing this all along this, and the reason that I've done 2 for this, and I always will adjust the pattern to have the number that makes sense for the size of the yarn that we're using. In this case I'm doing 2 because it keeps the work flat. If I did just 1, it would cause the work to curl like that. If I did more than 1, it would cause the work to curl like that, but more than likely it would also bunch up like that. In this case I want it to be flat, so I do 2. These are my back gap clusters. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, all along the edge. Okay? Thank you.